Give me some room!
Out the way. Hey guys, it's model time. We're back.
It's only been 2 months, not even. It's been a month and a half since our last video.
It's been not even. It's been a month since I've been here.
September 16th, 2017. What's today?
Saturday.
Saturday.
So today's vlog we're gonna make for you guys is what we have learned so far in Korea. Just, you know, our little insights and tips. People coming to Korea, family who have probably tons of questions for us. We've got some answers.
Alright guys, as you probably know, I'm stationed at Osan Air Base here in Pyeongtaek City, South Korea. Basically, if you want to go anywhere, you have to walk, ride your bike, or take a train. My wife walks everywhere. She fosters a lot. She works a lot. I just bought a bike for 60 bucks. It's a piece of shit. I mean, crap. Everybody sells bikes here. A lot of people sell motorized bikes here. You get a lot of Army personnel just making motors for the bikes. And there's also base taxis. Base taxis are actually only $3, pretty much. $3 anywhere you want to go.
It adds up.
It doesn't add up. It adds up.
It adds up. Number 2. This is definitely for me. No need for makeup. You're gonna sweat it out. It's so hot out. It's finally starting to cool a little bit, but the humidity and stuff, it just makes you look extra oily and just no need for makeup.
It's mostly humid. It's not really hot. It's really humid. It's disgusting.
My first week here, I was putting on some mascara and I go to do something like this, right? And it was at least 5 to 10 minutes after I put on my mascara and I was done, and this thing smudged everywhere, and I was so confused. Like, coming from Vegas, it's dry, it's hot, like you don't really have this problem, but the humidity made the mascara smudge everywhere because it just didn't dry.
She looked like a clown. I mean, a mess.
It was pretty bad.
When I first got here, I broke out really bad just because it was so humid. I was so oily all the time. Did you break out?
I did break out at first, but you know what? It makes my hair look really nice.
Number 3 is the humidity. All right, we just talked about it, but number 3 is the humidity. It's humid as F here all the time. It's nice, it's cool, but I'll shower. As soon as I get out of the shower, I'll dry off, and then I'll put on clothes, and then I'll sweat again. All over.
Your towels, you'll hang the towels to dry, and the next day they smell muggy and nasty and moldy.
So like
mold everywhere.
Yeah, so like I'll wear a hat or some of my shoes or her shoes too. 2 days later, they have mold all over them. Everywhere.
I've never felt OCD type to clean things before, as my family might know, but once it came to all this mold, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
But you know,
the towels never dry, the bathroom never dries. Dehumidifier is the way to go unless you're trying to save money in an apartment.
Number 4, when it rains randomly, it'll rain for like 10 seconds, but it pours.
Yeah, it'll pour. You'll get soaking wet in within 10 seconds.
And then it's a perfect, beautiful day out for the rest of the day. And it's like, what the?
Very humid.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sticky. Number 5, there's a lot of stuff here that's in English. Almost everything here that's Korean has English on it. Whether it's the phone numbers, tiles at restaurants, the menus at restaurants. Even when you get off the plane at the airport, right when you get off the plane, it shows what's in Korean, and then right under it, it's all English. So it's not hard to get anywhere and navigate pretty much. Unless you get to the heart of Seoul, a lot of places, a lot of back alley places, it's all Korean, and then you're SOL. The TV, we have like, what, 300 channels?
A good amount.
In our apartment, yeah, in our apartment we have about 300 channels. There's only like 6 that has English on it. Not American channels, it just has English on it. There's only 6. One
of our first nights like staying in the apartment, we sat there going through every single channel and writing down all the ones that looked really fun or all the ones that were actually American English TV shows. Number 6. So eating out at Korean restaurants or just any type of ethnic restaurant out here, they usually give you a 0 to 5 ratio to gauge what you want. The heat of your food.
The spiciness of your food.
Spiciness of your food, okay? So do not play it safe and go with the 2. I promise you the 2 will still have you burning the next morning.
It's hot as F.
Oh my gosh. So usually like back in the States, I'll go with the 2 and it's pretty spicy, but it's good. Like I can handle the heat, right? That's what I thought. We've been ordering some places at these few restaurants. There was one night I was actually crying.
Yeah, she was
I had tears
burning up and
blowing
crying
my nose.
and-
The lady comes by, you okay? You okay?
Yeah.
Like feels bad, is gonna take my food and remake it
And
for
I'm just
me.
laughing at her the whole time. I told her, she thinks she's so, I don't know what the word is, but hot-blooded, cold-blooded?
I don't know.
That
I
she
just
can
thought
handle
I
it?
could handle it,
She can
and
handle
it was a 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
2. Now I start going with 1 and feel like a weenie every time they ask how hot. I'm like,
And then it's just a waste.
I like it.
You don't like it because you
I like
cry
it
about
when
it.
it's
You
not
cry
too
about
hot.
your stomach hurting, and then you come home,
Yeah.
and then I'm getting you play, and then
Oh my god.
yeah.
No.
I mean, like play video games. We play Nintendo together. Number 7. So the whole dilemma on whether or not Koreans eat dog or not. Some Koreans have eaten dog. There is a certain breed of dog here that they will eat, but it's only a certain breed, and then all the other breeds they'll have as pets, which is really weird. Not every Korean has eaten dog, and not every Korean believes in eating dog, but a lot of Koreans have eaten dog. There's a lot of restaurants here that will eat dog. A lot of restaurants here will not serve dog to Americans.
Really?
Yeah.
But-
It's really expensive too.
Another thing is there's tons of pet stores. Like I came into it ignorant thinking, oh my god, Koreans eat dogs, like hide your kids, hide your wife, like don't. But they have pets everywhere. Like they've got puppy mills. So like obviously bad in America, but they've got tons of them. So they've got puppies everywhere. You walk down the street and there's a pet store here and there and there and there. And they've got all this funny, funny stuff. And it's like really kind of cool. And people actually love animals out here. They walk their little poodles. And number 8. Okay, so Koreans love babies and kids. So oh, she's in the cabinet. So before we came out here, I read about Koreans loving babies, but I finally saw it for the first time. I was walking down the street and there was a lady like pushing a little baby in a cart, and the Korean comes over and she's like, oh, like touching her, and the mom was just all happy about it. So that's just a kind of a insight for families who want to come out to Korea.
I've never seen that.
He's working all the time, that's why.
Yeah. Number 10, Koreans are very nice. For the most part, they're very nice. Almost too nice. They're very
funny.
nice, they're welcoming, they're funny. I work with a lot of Koreans at my job every day. Well, I hang out with them a lot, and they're hilarious. A lot of them are really fluent English. I met a couple that are from the States, actually, and they had to come back and serve, because if you're a Korean national, you have to actually serve 2 years in the military, at least, in the Korean military, at some point in your life. I want to say between 18 and 35 years old. Don't quote me on that one. They have to serve 2 years in the Korean Army or Air Force. They have to. Oh yeah.
They're all named Kim.
Yeah, they're all named Kim. A lot of Lees, but they're really good guys. I enjoy them. Koreans work really hard too. A lot of them will work very hard. Anytime you see them, they'll be walking with a shit ton of stuff on their back. Run down shoes, run down hands. Like I see people with sores on their hands a lot.
They don't complain.
They never complain either. They're a really hard-working society, and when I say that they're very friendly, almost too friendly, like if we're on a train, they'll be all up in your face. So the trains here, when you get on the train, obviously you can sit down, but and then stand up. Think of like a subway in like New York City or something like that, right? But they'll be all over you and in your face. They'll cough in your face, they'll sneeze in your face. For the most part, they're pretty nice.
Number 11. Back home in the States, we're really big on seasonings, like salts and different types of seasonings. Well, here in Korea, when you go and order meat and stuff like that, they mostly use sauces. So your food is usually kind of plain unless they put like a ton of different sauces and mixtures and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit different, but still really good.
Everywhere you go, for like restaurants and stuff, they'll give you like a main meat, and then they give you a shit ton of other side dishes.
And you mix it all.
And then I learned this the other day is when you go somewhere and you buy that one main meat, you can ask for all random side dishes like kimchi, lettuce wraps, different vegetable type dishes. Bean sprouts, and they're all free. So that you ask for all those and then make a little concoction, and it's cheaper than you buying more meats because you're still hungry. Number 12, in our apartment, I guess everywhere in Korea, you have to separate your trash.
So it's not just recycling. It's separating it, so it's partially recycling. So it's regular trash, like toilet paper and stuff like that. And then there's, actually no, I think paper. We're obviously bad at this. It's like cans, cardboard, paper, plastic, and then food waste. The food waste is the most difficult one. We don't have a garbage disposal, so the sink has this little teeny basket in the bottom, and all the food drainage goes in there, and you have to empty it out and put it in a specific little orange bag. You gotta freeze everything because you don't want to waste the bags because you have to buy them at the markets. And that's the biggest thing, that's like the biggest pain. But I mean, we're just not used to it.
Number 13 is the bad air or yellow dust.
So in the summer, there's actually yellow dust.
It's just the pollution, and the humidity does not help at all, so it just sticks in the air.
We've got apps that you can go and look at, and it has like air purifier gauge, I guess, and it tells you how bad the air is, and says like don't go running today, or if you have kids, don't stay out. And so that's kind of also the explanation for why basically as Asians wear those masks. The little medical mask is because they're afraid of the air and getting sick and stuff like that.
And she really cares about all that, but like doesn't affect me at all. I don't know if she ever is affected by it, but it's not too bad. Don't worry about it. Number 14 is the nightlife. We live right off base, and the nightlife is pretty cool. The Americans come out and they're popping. There's a lot of clubs, a lot of bars. We don't go to any of that.
Down in Seoul and stuff like that, that's supposed to be like Vegas or New York, where everything's just alive and everything's open late. Most nights, every single store down in the Sed's like the main little alleyway, not alleyway, but boardwalk of where we are, and everything's lit up, everything's alive. So it's like that everywhere once you go into the city. 15, in Korea, there's towers everywhere. So on the plane, you could see them. When I was first taking the bus, when you go anywhere, there's just giant, giant, giant towers. So like our apartment is 14 stories. 14 stories. And I can't even imagine what all these other towers are. I think they might all be apartments and other things.
Yeah, so basically everybody just lives in apartments. There's not really any houses out here. All apartments and highways and restaurants. There's a lot of office buildings downtown, like a shit ton of office buildings. And then there's apartments on top of it. Towers.
Everything's huge.
16, when you go into restaurants, a lot of restaurants, Koreans want you to take your shoes off. It's kind of weird. It just kind of depends on where you go. Just try to act like you know what you're doing and just look in there before you walk in. If you have your shoes on, take them off if you need to, but if everybody else has their shoes on, keep them on.
Number 17, the won to dollar ratio. So the Korean currency is the won, and compared to a dollar, it's like 1.2 something dollars.
That was like 1.6.
1 point something dollars to won.
It doesn't matter. All we know is a dollar is worth more than a won. So if you get into a base taxi and they say, hey, it's 3,000 won, give them won, don't give them dollars, because then you're getting cheated out of probably another $100,000 won.
Well,
100,000 won.
Yeah. Well, so
1,000 won.
1,000 won. We're still learning. The other thing is I thought the currency difference, like you'll see something and it's like, oh, 5,000 won. You're like, oh my gosh, it's so cheap, so much less than a dollar. It's basically $5. It's gonna be like $4.25. So it's not that exciting as we thought.
Number 18, in Korea, when you're born, you come out at 1 year old.
Year one, so they count you as year one.
So we're 19 as of right now.
In America.
So really we're 20 in Korea. Still doesn't mean any of the DoD members can drink.
No, nope. It's still American laws for us.
Yep. Which brings us into 19. The legal drinking age here is 19. We can't drink. And be careful if you do drink, because if you're acting a fool out there, security forces will get you.
Town patrols out there all night. Number 20, soju. So Americans love that soju.
It's the Korean alcohol, basically.
It's like the Korean vodka. And they sell it in like little beer bottles, so it looks like, oh, I can drink this whole thing. It's just a normal beer with dinner. No, this thing is super strong and it jacks these poor Americans up. We've seen it, and it's not something.
Yeah, a lot of people say that the juice, it's like juice. You don't even know it's there, you don't even know it's alcohol, and then when it hits you, you're done.
It hits you. Yeah.
Well, also be careful, because a lot of hookah bars will put soju inside of the hookah, basically, instead of using water. And you won't even know. 21, most of the restaurants, they have little napkins that are probably like this size. Just square sheets that are super thin, thinner than ass white paper, toilet paper. So the chopsticks, so we had to learn how to use chopsticks, which I'm getting pretty good at. She kind of sucks at, but it's okay.
I'm good some days, I have off days. But
she has little hands.
The coolest part about it, it's all underneath the table. They've got these little hidden drawers that just pull out.
All of them have spoons. Usually they have spoons at all of them.
Spoons, chopsticks, and napkins.
And a lot of the restaurants have glass bottle soda. It tastes pretty good. Also,
the water, they bring you like your own little private pitcher and these little teeny cups, and they give you water. So when you got that hot stuff, when you accidentally went with a number 3, you're drinking all this little water in a little tiny cup. Number 22, they are so much more technologically innovated or advanced. For instance, when I first got here from the airport, there was like this giant R2-D2 looking thing, and it was a giant Roomba, like a vacuum robot. It was really, really cool. I had to take a picture of it. Maybe I'll insert it here. When you go to restaurants and stuff, all the doors, you push this little button and they slide. So like we have like automated doors. Maybe it's not that special. It looks cool though. It just seems cool to push it and it slides up. One of the coolest things that I thought was they have packaged soft serve. So you go get soft serve ice cream, so it's so good, but they put little packages on it so you can buy it at the gas station. 5G internet. I haven't actually, have you used 5G? I guess it's a thing and it's out here, but
We still haven't used it.
I don't really know how you go about using it or if it's just trust that your internet's going faster.
But there is free Wi-Fi everywhere you go.
Everywhere, like on every street corner.
23 is coffee. Koreans love coffee. Everywhere you go, they're drinking coffee and alcohol, but mostly coffee.
On every like street corner, there's a coffee shop. The cutest little coffee shops too.
24, transportation system, bus. You can travel by bus, taxi, train, subway, different types of trains like bullet train or standard train. They're all super cheap. We went to Seoul for $5 a piece, which is about an hour and a half away.
It was 5,000 won, so less than $5.
Right, 5,000 one way. And the train station is probably a 10-minute walk from our apartment, probably a 15-minute walk from base itself, so it's not bad.
And you can even get like these little travel cards and like you put money, like a credit card kind of, you put money on it and you go and pay as you go with it.
We get lost a lot on the subway.
Still learning.
25 is the knockoffs. So everywhere you go, you'll see all the Koreans trying to sell you stuff. Also have a lot of different like Juicy Couture stuff. What's
a lot of Michael Kors.
A lot of the Gucci shit.
A lot of Chanel, like
it's
the
all
big name purses.
A lot of Oakley shit, and it's all super cheap. But I mean, if I were to bring that home, you would not know. So it's kind of up to you. It's kind of a good thing and it's a bad thing. But if like we went to the mall and it was actually all the real stuff and it was all at the right, like the real price, it's super expensive. We found the exact same stuff on the streets around our apartment for super, super cheap.
Like nice purses, NFL jerseys.
Yeah, the NFL jerseys you can definitely tell because like, but I mean you can probably get a couple of the brand new NFL jerseys with whatever patches you want them because they'll custom make it. For a lot cheaper.
They custom make a lot of stuff out here. That's another really cool thing. You go in and they'll custom make you a brand new suit or a leather jacket or like anything. Number 26, most Korean apartments, probably actually all Korean apartments, they don't have a washer and a dryer. They've got a washer and dryer duo or just a washer. So like our neighbors downstairs in the other apartment, you can see that they hang to dry all their clothes. Well, I just tried to use my washer dryer duo the other day and it washes normal, everything's in Korean. And then I go to dry it and it takes 4.5 hours to dry. It dried perfectly, but I think it was running for 4 hours. That's just really weird.
27 is the floor heaters. So our apartments and all the buildings in Korea, they don't have like a heater on your AC unit or nothing like that. It's just a floor heater. So basically you go on the wall, you press a button and the section of the floor will heat up. I haven't used it yet, but everybody says it's pretty expensive, but it works pretty good. We're gonna try not to use it this winter. It does get pretty cold here, I heard. Like last year they spent like 54 days straight below freezing temperatures, so that's gonna be fun since we're from Vegas.
Number 28. In Korea, they've got these gigantic spiders. Some of them can be small, but when you see the big ones, they're huge, okay? They're these big black spiders with like green stripes on their bodies
it's
and
like
on
yellow.
their legs.
Yeah.
Like a bright fluorescent green yellow, so you know those things are poisonous, and like a red little thing on their tummy. I go and finally Google it, and I'm like, what is the big black and green spider in Korea? It's called the Nephala clavata or something like that, and it's the banana spider. So if you Google banana spider, there's like these big fuzzy ones, and there's also this Korean one. It also happens to be the only poisonous spider in Korea.
But they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Especially on base.
Especially on base. Huge, 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 huge. Never seen them walking before. If I see them walking, they might look even bigger than they do up in the sky. If someone out there is a studier of spiders and I'm wrong, please correct me.
Studier of spiders.
Please correct me.
29 is sports. Korea, sports are huge, but mostly baseball. A lot of the, what was it, jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu all over the place, and soccer. They have major soccer teams, major baseball games, almost every day, year-round. It's only like $15 a person to get in, but like every night. Just depends if it's home or away. And they're pretty lit, pretty hyped up. Definitely recommend trying those out. A lot of Americans play on the baseball teams too.
Number 30, kimchi. Whenever you talk about Korea, people are like, oh, do you have kimchi? Like, oh, do you like kimchi? Yeah, it's everywhere, and it's actually pretty good. So far, my favorite is cucumber kimchi. You don't like it? I I think it's pretty good. And there's actually a really cool market that comes down. It's called the 4-9 market, and it's called that because it's only open on days that end in the 4 or a 9. So like the 4th, the 9th, 14th, 19th, 24th, 29th, stuff like that. And so you go down there and it's a giant farmer's market. It covers all these different streets and stuff. And there's this one alleyway that you go down and they've got giant tubs of just all kimchi, and you can just order it and get it and take it home.
So if you guys have any questions about anything in Korea, or if you guys want us to make videos about certain specific things here in Korea, or just about us, about my military life, about her whole scheduled life, she has a ton of stuff every day. I don't even know how she does it, but she does it while I'm at work, because I work a lot. But if you want us to do anything, let us know, and we'll capture it and show you guys. We're gonna make a ton of videos coming up within the next couple of months. We're gonna be here until next July, so just let us know.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.